Hello.
Hello.
It's us.
Back again.
We've what you're looking for.
Episode.
Yeah, this is different. This is going to be a new
nerd talk.
new nerd topic
yeah.
for us. I'm not as invested as the other two nerds in the room.
Yeah, for some reason he's
I don't know why.
Star Wars or anything, but yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
That's what we're going to talk about today. I hope you enjoy it. We're pretty excited. It's going to be fun.
I'm super stoked. I don't get to flex my loader boner as often as Star Wars.
Right.
Well, Star Wars, though, there's been so much happening with Star Wars recently in the past few years compared to...
I mean, if you made me pick, I like Star Wars more.
Yeah.
But Lord of the Rings is still...
Oh, it's fire.
Top shelf.
You couldn't recreate it.
No.
No, there's no way.
There's no way.
Kind of like the Rings of Power TV show isn't
Yeah,
doing very well,
bullshit.
you know.
So, yeah.
Don't even get me started on that.
Here we are. This is Hayden.
This is Tanner.
And this is Crispy. Howdy, howdy. Let's go to Mordor.
Whoa!
This week's word of the week.
Ooh.
Ass pull. To pull.
Pull?
Pull.
An ass pull? A
P-U-L-L.
pool of asses.
No. ASSPULL. Ass pull.
See, sometimes it's hard to know, especially from the area that we're from.
Right.
Because I say pull.
Pool.
It could be the action, or it could be the leisure activity.
It could be swimming in a pool. It could be pull, as in trap shooting. You throw the skate. It could be pull cue, shooting all pool.
Yeah.
Playing pool.
English and language.
Or it could be how to exit a door.
Pool.
Pull, don't push.
Anyway,
to pull
here we are.
a solution out of one's ass.
Okay.
Ass pull.
Is
I've
an
been
ass
there.
pull.
I've been there.
They were completely screwed, and then they had an ass pull and completely saved the day.
Wow.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I see how this can relate to Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yes.
There were plenty of ass pulls. in
Oh,
Lord of
yeah.
the Rings.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
Good choice.
Very
Good
choice.
Top notch. Top notch.
Let's dive right into this.
Yeah. What are you...
Like
What'd you
Smeagol
bring?
off the top of Mount Doom.
What are we reviewing?
These are deep dives into Lord of the Rings that aren't necessarily talked about. They're just
Maybe like
there.
hidden meanings or
Almost
something?
hidden meanings.
Okay.
Hidden things, different frames
Yes.
in which
Another perspective to think about.
to
Yes.
view the story.
Yeah. The
So
story.
I'm going
okay.
to start this off with Boromir being poisoned by the blood of Sauron.
Impossible.
It's not impossible.
Impossible.
So there's the scene.
It's not in the lore.
There's a scene.
Okay.
There's a broken sword.
Narsil.
Narsil. Thank you.
That was the name of the sword?
Yes.
Okay.
All swords are named. I could not
Yeah.
remember that one. So he picks it up. He's like, blade is so sharp. Because it's as is from the battle. 3,000 years before?
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's something like that.
Hasn't just been
It's
dusted.
like it's
2,800.
between 1 and 3,000 years. I want to say it's like 2,000 years.
You think it's 2,000?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hasn't been cleaned, just dusted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Laid here for everyone to view.
Yeah.
He picks it up and he's like, oh, it's still sharp. And cuts his finger.
That's the battle that started the Third Age.
Yes.
So however long that was going on. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
So, it is believed that when he cut his finger, there was still blood on the sword from when it struck down Sauron. So, he got poisoned with it because right after that incident happened, he went off the rails almost.
See, that's the thing, though. We didn't really get Boromir before that scene.
You do in the extended edition of Return of the King.
Ooh.
A whole entire different movie that's not supposed to introduce the character.
No, but you get a lot more of the
Of
character.
how he was before.
How he was before. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I see.
Because when I watched it originally as a kid, I thought it was the ring had turned him like that because
Yeah.
he
It
was,
did. That's because it did.
Because he was the only.
That's because it did, Chris.
That's because he was the only true man in the group. Because you had Legolas was the elf, you had Aragorn who was Dunedain, top tier
Dunedain.
male.
For you casuals, the Dunedain were the group of men that immigrated back to Middle Earth from Numenor after the fall of Numenor. Numenor was an island that was gifted to men by the elves and the Eldar as a special gift because these men helped the elves defeat Morgoth. Okay?
And Morgoth was
this is all in the Silmarillion.
Yeah. Morgoth was the predecessor to Sauron.
Well, he's Sauron's master.
Yes.
Sauron is really he's not the actual big bad.
No.
He's like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Morgoth is like the Emperor.
Empire.
But he died.
Palpatine.
Morgoth, he was kind of.
He did.
I thought Sauron killed him.
That boy did.
No, Sauron didn't kill him.
Yeah, it was the power.
No, he was defeated in battle and kind of banished to the shadow
dark realm.
The shadow realm.
Yeah.
Basically, like he still exists. He's just he's divorced from anything in Middle Earth.
Okay.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sauron still around.
Yeah. Sauron
Took over his.
But
Sauron was defeated in battle, but was able to.
The men on Numenor got corrupted, or at least the governing powers did by Sauron, because that's where he fled to. Numenor was sunk like Atlantis, but there was a loyalist committee, if you want to call it that, like a group, led by Isildur and his father. What was his name? I can't remember what his name was. But Isildur and the king, his father, left because they were faithful. They were
allowed to leave?
They left. They knew what was going to happen. They were like, this is going to shit, we're leaving. And then once they left and they were like refugees to Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Numenor was sunk like Atlantis, and that group of men was called the Dunedain, and they were blessed with almost like the half-elves.
Like a longer life.
They had some elf things about them.
Okay.
Yeah, they're blessed with longer life.
Not as long as elves.
No,
but
not
still
as long.
longer than normal
Elves
man.
lived, what, thousands of years?
Like Legolas was 3,000.
Elves are essentially immortal.
Yeah.
The only way they can die is if they're killed.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's why Aragorn wasn't corrupted as easily as Boromir.
Right.
By the ring.
Exactly.
Oh, Sauron's blood.
I agree with Tanner.
I feel like it was probably the blood.
It wasn't the blood.
I agree with Tanner.
It wasn't in the sacred texts, Chris.
There are sacred texts, it sounds like.
The Silmarillion.
This is deeper. This dives deep.
This is the source material.
So fucking
This is the
deep.
conspiracy
There's
theory
nothing in there that
Middle
says
Earth.
Sauron's blood gives you a huge boner to be a dick.
Bullshit.
Sure?
Anyways, we're going to move on to the next one.
Number two.
Number 2.
We're starting off on a...
Aragorn and Legolas were affected more deeply by Gandalf's death than the others, because I think Gimli wasn't like... He knew of Gandalf, but I don't think he fully... Like the hobbits have experienced, Gandalf has been coming down to the Shire for...
It was, Gandalf was their bro.
Yeah.
He was great-granddaddy
Legolas,
Gandalf.
being an elf, so he knows kind of the higher workings of things.
Yes.
And Aragorn, being of his lineage, also knows of the higher workings of things.
They knew
the gravity of what they just saw.
It was almost like watching Jesus die for them.
Oh, also
For them.
a good friend. How long have they been together for?
Right.
You know?
A long time.
Yeah.
Because even though Gandalf looks like a man, he's not a man, right? There's only 5 wizards. Not everybody can just go and be a wizard. It's not Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not Disney Star Wars. Not anybody can just go do it.
Can't just pick up the lightsaber and you're Jedi.
No. There's only 5. You got Gandalf,
Okay.
the gray white, Saruman the white, which Saruman was the leader. He was the head wizard until he got corrupted. Then you had Radagast, the brown, and then the blue and
green.
I think it was green.
No red.
I don't think there was a red wizard. No.
Interesting.
Which don't really come into the story at all.
No.
They're mentioned in the Silmarillion, but they don't
Very
do
briefly.
They don't do anything.
Interesting. Okay.
there was. I remember something was talking about the blue.
But yeah, for one of them to die, it's a huge deal.
Huge deal. But yeah, he had mentioned the blue, and there was supposed to be different talk of what he wanted to do with it, but I guess he never got the chance to really expand.
Well, then you
on
still
it.
got the fucking hobbits you got to take care of. You're one man down. You still got to get out of there.
That was the thing. So like Aragorn.
That's
just,
another
he's
thing
just
too.
Staring.
He's like, shit. Now
Yeah.
Now I'm the leader.
Yeah,
Well, the
like
only
the
way
shit
that he-
piling on his plate just got way bigger, and
Yeah.
then he's got to
Boromir's, like,
tell
yelling at
everybody.
him, like,
Yeah.
and it's almost like in the background, like he. Yeah.
And Aragorn.
It's just like,
oh shit.
I
I agree.
Yeah. So, another thing, Gandalf used Frodo's possible death as a test for Aragorn to see if he is right to be king.
I can see that.
So, because he asked him, he's like asking him about the doubt. He's like whether Frodo's alive or not.
Because, like, yeah, I mean, that'd be a good thing to know about a king you're about to appoint is, can you handle the worst possible situation?
Right.
Which Frodo dying would have been worst possible scenario.
Would that?
Because if at that point Frodo was in Mordor, and if he would have died there,
The ring's
then
there.
the ring is in Mordor, and then Sauron has it
Yeah.
back, which would be doom for everybody.
So after Aragorn gives his response, that's when Gandalf kind of like smiles because he's like, "Yes, you are rightful king.
You are the chosen one.
You are the chosen
Was
one."
Frodo dead though?
No, he was just testing him.
Okay.
But I love that scene at Return of the King where he's just like he thinks Frodo's
They're
dead.
at the end of the rope. Yeah.
Yeah, where they're at the end of the rope, they're outnumbered, and he's just like, for Frodo. And then just not even expecting them to come with him.
Oh, it gives me goosebumps just talking about
I'm
it.
just like, I'm the same, like the hairs on the back of my neck, and he's just, for Frodo, and dives, just goes.
Charges head first. Yeah.
Not even
Into the battle.
he's expecting them to stay.
Yeah.
He knows that he has to go and fight, and he just dives
And everybody
right
follows
into
him.
it. And they follow him because he is the rightful king.
Man,
Yes.
beautiful.
That was
He
so
is the one who
beautiful.
will lead them.
Oh yeah.
It was a test.
And
He succeeded.
he's 100%.
Oh, yeah. Flying colors.
Oh yeah.
Smeagol was part of Gandalf's plan from the beginning.
Which one's Smeagol?
He's Gollum.
I don't think.
Okay.
I think in the fact that he expected him to come along, like not necessarily he was planning on it, more that he was planning for it.
So when Sam and Frodo were on that rock on Mordor,
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, 3 eagles come up.
Yeah, one is Gandalf's, and then the other 2 are going to take the 2 hobbits.
He thought there was going to be a third person that he had to grab.
Ooh.
Hmm.
That's
Maybe.
Wrap your brain around that.
So
I just figured, here's one for this hobbit, here's one for this hobbit, I'm taking this one. That's the way I always looked at it anyway.
Okay.
But this is a different way to look at
Yeah,
these
that's-
things.
yeah.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Because he was Sam and Frodo go off on this thing, but they have no idea where they're going,
Right.
No.
and he didn't send a guide.
No, it was like,
No,
hey,
obviously
look,
not.
look at that giant
Go that way.
volcano,
Yeah.
walk toward it.
But
And walk
the
as
3
far
movies.
as you can get. Yeah.
but like in the Mines of Moria, they're even like, I think someone's following us. He's like,
Oh, he knew he was there.
yeah, he knew,
Yeah.
and he's not like, we need to stop and kill him. He knows. He's like, we kind of need him.
Gandalf knows the way.
Yes,
He knows the way in, but
he knew that he wasn't going to go.
Yeah, Smeagol was a good backup plan.
Backup plan.
Yeah.
I think he was part of the plan from the get go.
Well, he was planning, like I said, he was planning for him to be there, especially after Moria when
Yeah.
he saw it, when he knew he was there.
Even if
Yeah.
he wasn't there, I think the plan would have still carried through how it was supposed to.
And
For
that's
the most
how
part.
they got on their
Quest.
the ring race. The
Yeah.
Nazgul was on their trail to begin with, because
Right.
Smeagol spilled the beans.
Right.
Shire Baggins. Yeah.
Yeah. They only scream 2 words. Shire.
What's
Baggins.
What's next?
But that will lead them back home. No, that was in A New Hope.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was Chris.
Yeah. How to lead them?
Back home.
Crispy bodies.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Gandalf knew the Moria riddle all along. He just didn't answer it because he knew he was going to die inside.
I don't think he did.
What?
I don't think he knew he was going to die inside.
I think he 100% knew he was going to die inside.
No, he
Or
was
at least it
trying
was-
to get away.
Or at least it was going to be jeopardized.
He knew that they were probably going to lose somebody going through Moria. I
Yeah.
don't think he thought it was going to be him,
Yeah.
but it just came down to it.
He sacrificed himself.
Yeah, he had to.
Yeah.
Did he
for
have
the sake
to?
of the For the sake of all them, yeah, he had to.
Did he have to? He couldn't have pushed somebody else off?
Honestly, I think
He had to be, well, I'll say he had to be the one to stand between them and the Balrog.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't just a Balrog, that was the Balrog of Morgoth.
Yeah.
That was one of the top tier Balrogs.
Top tier.
That is
Which is the most
head
dangerous.
boss.
Yeah, it is the most dangerous creature.
Honestly, if you dive deep into it, I think Gandalf just wanted all the XP. Because literally, he goes down there.
That's what I'm saying.
He fights this Balrog, and then he comes back as
He leveled up, man. Like big time. He had prestige.
Did he know that he did not fulfill his quest and that he would be sent back? Like, did he do it for the XP, for the clout?
He definitely did it for the XP. He came back.
I don't think he.
So cool.
I don't know if he totally knew he was going to be brought back.
No, I don't think he knew he was going to get brought back.
I don't think he knew. I don't think he thought he was going to die. But when it came down to it, he was the only one powerful enough to try to stop this battle.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he did. It was just
He did.
the whip came back up because he was walking away. He's like, okay,
He's like, nailed it.
nailed it. You done.
Yeah.
No.
Fly, you fools.
Fly, you fools.
Okay, keep going.
All right. Gandalf!
Yeah, now you're the leader of this fucking gang of bitches. So.
You talking about Aragorn?
Yeah. I could not imagine the added stress.
Right. Gandalf brought multiple hobbits because he thought Frodo would die.
I don't think so.
I could see that.
It was moral
Why
support.
would he bring 4 fucking like, why do you have one elf, one man, one
So all the races are represented in
Right.
doing this task.
and 4 hobbits?
I don't feel
They
like
left together. They were bros.
I understand that. Sam and Frodo,
Yeah.
he didn't have to bring Merry and Pippin.
No, those were Frodo's cousins.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying
Well, it's
he
like-
didn't have to bring them.
it's like rodents. Like having more of them makes them happier. Like if you have one of them, they're really sad all the time. So if you bring more like guinea pigs or rats or whatever into the cage and they get along, they're happier for longer, no matter how bad the conditions are.
I just think Gandalf knew it would be better off for Frodo because he knew his bros were going to be there.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Frodo would be able to withstand the horrid conditions he has to experience with the support of his friends.
Yeah, I don't think he was counting. I don't think he's like, this little bitch is going to die.
Yeah, Gandalf knew that they
Toss
would.
it off to Sam.
Well, no, they all knew this was a literal like suicide mission.
Death march. Yeah.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
literally a death march. They all knew it, so they called their best fighters. And then you have Sam and Pippin, who just shot your fucking dragon firework into the sky.
Merry and Pippin.
What did I say?
Sam and Pippin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Merry and Pippin. So
Sam
they
Pippin.
are like
Have
teenagers.
you even seen
Oh
the
my-
Fellowship?
So literally, these are like teenagers. These aren't like I don't care how
They're
old they.
50-year-old men.
Yeah, but they're teenagers and fucking. They're childish.
How old do the hobbits get?
In the books, they were like 50. All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50
How
plus.
old can hobbits live to?
I don't know.
Well, Bilbo lived to 100
111, but that was because of the ring.
because of the ring.
Probably
So
just a normal lifespan.
They live like we would. They would probably
Okay.
like 90 to 100 is good for them. He was looking good at 111, and then
Until
as soon
he
as
gave up the ring.
Until he gave up the ring, and it just declined.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
I would say probably 90 to 100. So they may have been 50, but all honesty, they were childish. And
Yeah.
So they were
feel
all
like-
still single.
I feel like Gandalf, right? I feel like Gandalf, if he was that worried about this suicide mission, that he would have said no, sent them back home. But instead, he was like, if Frodo catches an arrow, that's kind of detrimental to the mission.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
mean,
mean.
it is a suicide mission. You're not going to bring These fucking goof offs.
Yeah.
The literally, when they're in the mines of Moria, knock a fucking skeleton and bring
especially Pippin. Yeah.
Yes.
Unless you were desperate, which they were.
Right. So that's the thing. The hobbits are stronger to the will of the ring.
Together.
So, right. Well, not together.
No,
just
them as a race.
Just the hobbits in general. So that's why bringing 4 of them. It's a backup plan.
That's fair.
That's a pretty good backup.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good backup plan.
So I mean, that's.
I could agree. And then, like, if Frodo died, they could be like, "You got to do it for Frodo."
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
you have to do this. Like, and then they would fulfill that quest, obviously,
and they all would have
because the trauma bonding they would have done getting to that point.
Yeah. 100%.
Sam totally would have.
All right, next.
Denethor went mad.
Denethor. Yeah.
Are we sure?
I'm positive.
He went mad from lead poisoning.
How simple.
Ooh.
Okay, give me some backstory.
So a brief history lesson for you.
Ooh.
The tomato was introduced in Europe in the early 1500s when the Spanish conquistadors brought it back from Mesoamerica because tomatoes are so acidic.
Mesoamerica.
I know, right?
Mesoamerica.
Mesoamerica.
It's
so
miso
acidic.
soup, bro.
When they were placed upon European pewter plates and cooked in pewter pots, the acidity would cause a greater amount of the lead in the pewter to leach into the food. The resulting increase in lead poisoning led to the tomato being...
People, didn't eat tomato for a while.
Right. So the resulting increase in lead poisoning to the tomato being banned for causing sickness and death. When Pippin's singing, you can literally see him with his pewter platter and his pewter drink fucking just molesting those fucking tomatoes.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
You just fucking just...
Those tomatoes didn't look cooked, though. But him drinking out of the cups.
Drinking out of the cups, eating off the... And maybe those weren't cooked.
Those maters.
But I really think Peter Jackson really like honed in, because it's like, why is he just fucking
fucking them up. Yeah.
And so that's a thing. Like, he had lead poisoning, and that's why he was so
he was
mad.
kind of like the Mad King kind of thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
There's one problem with your theory, though, Chris.
What's that? They weren't in Europe.
They weren't in Europe.
Obviously, but
they still use pewter.
Yeah, they were still.
Yeah.
And they're still eating tomatoes.
I'm just pinching your nips.
I know, and I have something for
I do
that.
like that, though, because when you mentioned the
you have
director...
something to pinch your nips?
Yes. No, about... it's a post-apocalyptic Earth in the future.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
No, and I have...
What's the next one?
Hang on. I'm going to get back to it. What is your retort to it?
To that being a post-apocalyptic future?
Yeah.
It says at the end of the Silmarillion, the idea was that magic left with the elves.
Okay, but...
Any sense of magic or anything like that left with the elves, and then Middle-earth became Europe after that.
So it's a pre...
It's a prehistory.
Okay.
That's how it's framed in the...
What a wild prehistory.
He talks
that
about...
is Tolkien himself.
I know, but what about Numenor?
Numenor?
Yeah, Numenor.
Atlantis.
But
it was an Atlantis parable.
Right. But he talks about it. It existed before the Middle Earth era. Nothing could be further from the truth. The literal describes Numenor as having metal ships that sailed without sails, petrol-driven ships.
You're talking about Atlantis.
Yeah.
Not Numenor. They had a strong navy, but it wasn't metal ships.
It's literally... He literally talks about it. I have the notes
Numenor
right here.
happened in the Second Age, before the Lord of the Rings.
He has tall, unsightly towers described as skyscrapers.
Yeah. They were a powerful nation because they were gifted that stuff from the elves. The same thing happened in...
they also have missiles that could strike enemies from far away.
Sounds like the United States.
Newsflash, Numenor is not ancient Atlantis. It's none other than 21st century America.
No, it's not.
Middle Earth takes place 2,500 years after a great catastrophe.
Probably it does not. It's a prehistory.
I don't know why you want to argue with me about this.
Because I read the Silmarillion.
I think Tanner's correct.
I don't think so. Anyways.
Motherfucker, it happened in the Second Age before the events of The Lord of the Rings. Thousands of years. That's where Aragorn's family comes from.
I understand that.
You saying he's American?
After.
No, it happened before.
Oh, but it happened after our society now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. The
Silmarillion literally chronicles the history of the Lord of the Rings universe from the inception of time and tells the story up to the end, which implies that after magic left the realm, then that Middle-earth became Europe. After that. It chronicled everything beforehand, and never did it talk about us. It was the elves.
Fuck the elves.
The elves first. The first age. It's the elves.
Doubt it.
He hasn't read it.
Neither have I.
I've not read it.
Continue.
Gandalf did to the hobbits what Saruman did to the Uruk-hai.
Which was?
Tortured them?
As Gandalf has an extra-dimensional intelligence prosecuting the latest places of a conflict literally older than creation, took an interest in the precursors of the hobbits, and began deliberately cultivating them as a sort of counter to the threat of Sauron's growing influence.
He manipulated the culture of the hobbits in order to have them in the position they are in at the beginning of the film franchise?
The One Ring in
particular... I think he just took
it.
advantage of their special gift.
Yes, exactly.
He didn't make
the
them.
One Ring in particular... firstly, hobbits and their close relatives seem to be incredibly resistant to corruption from Sauron and the Ring. Smeagol Gollum held onto the thing for a millennia and retained a large portion of his own will to the point of unknowingly keeping the Ring away from Sauron for a very long time. Not even like intentionally, he just did it.
He just did.
Yeah. Bilbo had the ring for decades with only a few latent effects on his personality. Frodo holds onto the ring for more than a year in a very high-stress situation before he starts to crack. Sam outright rejects it for a short time in Mordor itself.
He's the only one ever who willingly gave up the ring.
Sam? Yeah.
Interesting.
All it takes is a few weeks of mere proximity for Boromir to go off the deep end and try to take the ring by force.
That's exactly what happened.
Frodo is able to survive the Morgul dagger for a length of time that surprises Gandalf and Elrond both.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was wearing the ring?
No, because he's a hobbit.
Oh, okay.
Hobbits are, for whatever reason, more just resilient against the forces of the darkness.
Death?
No, Sauron, the dark side.
I didn't know if that was included.
But no, the orcs were made as a mockery of the elves.
Yeah, they were like the first
That's
orcs.
why they have pointy ears.
Yeah, the first orcs were like distorted elves, and then
Morgoth made them as a mockery to the elves, like a demons and angels. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can think of Morgoth as because he was one of the.
He's the
one
Antichrist?
of the core. The Silmarillion is a pretty strong parable to the Bible. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of similar stuff, and the same goes for Morgoth being a fallen angel, right? He was one, and then had kind of this will of his own kind of thing that went counter to Iluvatar, which is the god of Middle Earth, right? In that. So yeah, he made him as a mockery, like angels and demons kind of thing. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Interesting.
Well, maybe hobbits were another, because there's not a whole lot about the origins of hobbits in the Silmarillion. So it could be like here's elves. I see your bet and raise it orcs, and then maybe it was I see your bet and raise you hobbits.
Right. Yeah.
And then there was just never another
thing better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Next.
Frodo never wanted to destroy the ring.
No.
So
of course not.
From when they're at the Council of Elrond and he puts it up there, he's so uneasy about it, and they're all fighting, and he's uneasy, and he even starts to hear Sauron like calling to him. So when everyone stands up and starts shouting at each other, the voice starts to intensify in Frodo, and he sees flames in the ring, and then he stands up and he says, he will take it to Mordor. He never says he will take it there to destroy it.
Ooh, he'll take it to deliver it to Sauron.
Exactly.
Which, if
He's
Sam
almost
hadn't have been
acting
there,
right.
well, if Smeagol and Sam hadn't been there, that's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah.
Because even at the end, he did not want to throw it in.
No.
It only got knocked in because he was trying to take it from Smeagol. And they fell over into it, and Smeagol ended up getting it, but he fell into the lava.
But it was because he's so uneasy and he's hearing Sauron. It's almost not even acting like he's almost acting like he's.
It's like, I'm going to do this to shut y'all up and get away.
Yeah.
I thought it was like almost like an obedience call. Like Sauron is like telling him like,
this is what you're going to do.
Take the ring, bring it to Mordor. So he's like, I will take it.
I will take it.
Yeah.
Like a Jedi mind trick.
Right.
Yeah.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, everyone thought that it was like a great resilience to the ring, but no, it was just.
Ooh.
No,
I believe that.
He's never that resilient to it, because even by movie 2, he was. He tried to hand it to a ring wraith.
Yeah.
At the end of the second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of during the battle of Osgiliath, the ring wraith was coming up on his dragon.
Yeah.
Right, and he was just like.
It was calling to him.
Yeah.
Sauron was telling him, give the ring.
Yeah.
So Frodo's the worst.
Frodo's not the hero you think he is.
Yeah. He's just a piece of shit. That somehow gets tagged along with
He just got lucky.
Sam is the hero.
Sam's the real hero.
Interesting.
Frodo kind of fake it till he make it kind of thing.
All right. What's next?
Elrond ordered the Fellowship to kill Frodo.
How you mean?
So,
I agree.
The One Ring corrupts the people who are, obviously, who holds it to the point where it's impossible for anyone to knowingly attempt to destroy it. Like, it took Gollum falling off the ledge to legitimately destroy it. Because Elrond first experience, he throw the ring, and he's just like, no.
Cast it into the fire!
Yeah.
Destroy it!
Destroy it!
No. Walks away. Yeah. It should have ended that day.
So they were going to kill Frodo, but they decided
so
not to?
He thought that sacrificing one hobbit for the fate
of humanity.
Just going up there and Spartan kicking his ass into Mount Doom with the ring.
He's just like a box holding the ring. And then, they're just... That was pretty much the only way that they could...
If it came down to it, he probably would have done it.
I believe
absolutely would have done it, because he knows he didn't want the same thing to happen again.
Right.
With that happened with the Sealer. Huh?
Elrond didn't go.
No.
But he
wanted to go.
I think he told them, like...
This is what's going to happen.
If it comes down to it, kill his bitch.
Don't feel bad. This is one hobbit.
The hobbit into the fires of
Cast him
Mordor.
into the fire.
Cast him into the fire.
Destroy him.
It's only one
Theoden was a terrible leader.
Theoden?
Theoden.
No, I was just making sure I heard you right.
Yeah.
And it's Theoden.
Theoden.
Anyway.
Yeah, Theoden.
Was a bad leader?
No, it's a terrible leader.
Oh, yeah, let's take our people and put them into a corner where we
Put them in a hole in the ground where when
there's
they
no
run
escape.
in, they just go right to them. There's nowhere for them to go. No, not even that. He was so easily corrupted.
By Wormtongue?
Yeah.
Who the fuck's the Wormtongue?
Tell me you haven't seen the Two Towers without telling me you haven't seen the Two Towers.
Right, obviously.
He was
Rohirrian.
He was corrupted by Sauron.
Yeah.
The wizard.
Kind of like he was kind of a double agent. He was a Rohirrian, I guess. Rohanite, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Sauron was like corrupted him and then became like a little whisper in his ear.
Oh, just feeding him information?
Yeah, which slowly bewitched Theoden.
Yeah.
Because he was under a curse. He was under a spell.
Poisoned, yeah. I'm not 100% sure how.
So he did it against his will after a certain point.
Who?
He got Wormtail to do it to him,
Yeah.
and I'm not 100% sure how, but then he kept whispering in his ear. He was like a little fucking leech.
Well, that's the same kind of thing that happened in Numenor, except it wasn't the Wormtongue in this situation was Sauron.
Yeah.
He was actually there.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Doing that. But, so it's kind of a parallel to that.
But, so, like, you're talking about taking them into the ground. The Rohirrim,
Rohirrim?
obviously,
night.
if you, at the end of it, obviously they could take on the fucking Uruk-hai.
Yeah.
So why, instead of, sending all your fucking best horsemen?
Because he banished them.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is, even the ones that were left, their fighting ground, open field on fucking horses, could have slaughtered them.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of those back into a corner.
They were way outnumbered. No, at least for Helm's Deep.
Look at 300.
10,000.
Those 300 Spartans.
And they all died.
Against all those Persians,
And those were
And they lost.
thousands of permanent.
Hey, I don't know if you remember that movie, but they didn't win.
They didn't win, but
also,
they were
those
able
are
to
top
hold
tier-
back
hey,
the Persians.
Those are top tier. Those were from the early age of children were trained how to fight.
These fighters aren't that good?
No, most of them are. They're literally
They're not
even
Spartans.
B tier. They're not even
Okay.
B tier of.
Spartan
These
would be
are
S tier.
They're horsemen.
So they would
Yeah,
be
but
C
these aren't
tier.
even horsemen. These are old men and children.
Well, here's the thing. Wormtongue got Theoden to get rid of his army.
Oh, okay.
Right, that they were sent out. Gandalf and Aragorn had to go bring them back, and they didn't have their army for Helm's Deep. The army was still gone.
Yeah.
Gandalf came back with them, and that's how they won.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
But it was Wormtongue that did it.
and not only that, he made the. Not only was it a terrible decision to go back there, but Saruman knew what he was going to do because he literally brought the ladders, he brought the bomb, he brought everything, knowing that dumb motherfucker was going to go to Helm's Deep.
Well, he got rid of his army, and Rohan,
Yeah,
the city.
He knew they would return to. He's
they
like,
knew they'd go to their
Stronghold.
Helm's Deep was their only stronghold. That
then they
town
fought there
that
for-
they were in would have fell like that.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, you know what would have even been better is if he sent the Uruk-hai there to begin with.
Yeah.
And then they come in there to board it up, and they're just like hiding in the cave underneath.
Like, we're here
But
already.
weren't they already kind of going there? I can't remember.
Yeah, they're already
They're
headed
already
there.
going to Rohan, like,
Yes.
to get them, and they're like, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
So I guess they were already on their way
Yeah.
because they met them on the road to Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Yes. The scouts.
The scouts.
Yeah. It was an orc pack of scouts on the.
Wargs.
Yeah.
How large was this civilization of people? Thousands?
Rohan. It was its own little nation.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a lot of
There
people.
was several thousand of them that came to Helm's Deep. Most of them were women and children, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
was
it was. They were a nation without an army
No,
Yeah.
because their army had
Because
left.
All the men had left.
because while he was still cursed, Theoden banished his army.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they were completely vulnerable. So that's why they had to leave to go to Helm's Deep.
Wild.
Because at Helm's Deep, at least they had some semblance of a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, another thing,
So he was a terrible leader until he woke up.
no, when he woke up and started making decisions, he was terrible.
That was the best possible thing they could have done was go to Helm's Deep. They would have died for sure if they would have stayed in
If
town.
they'd stayed there, yes.
So with his options, he did as
I'm
good as
just
he
saying.
could.
Yeah, I know, but it was terrible. Another thing...
It was
so
a fucked situation.
Yeah, it was a terrible situation, but he put himself there, trusting...
Not his
Wormtongue.
fault.
Yeah, keeping Wormtongue around. So yeah.
So, but... Well, and the other thing, even after all that, he tries to get Wormtongue to come... He's like, come down, you're still here. Come be with us.
He cast him out
No, when
immediately after waking up.
when they go to the Twin Tower and he's up there with Saruman, he's trying to get him to come back to him.
Oh my gosh.
Do you not
Oh
remember?
wait, was that in the extended?
Yeah. When he's up at the top of the tower
Oh, okay.
with Saruman, he's like, you're of Rohirrim descent. Come down with us.
They're trying to. Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
that's
you're
when
right.
him and Saruman get into it, and then he falls off
He dies.
onto the wind. Yeah, he drops down onto this water wheel.
Yeah. Splattered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
You got
Surprised they
anything else?
cut that out of the theatrical cut.
Honestly, it's
Well, how long is
kinda
the
weird.
extended
Only-
version?
it's another hour longer.
That's
The
not bad.
extended version is
Yeah, it went from
it's almost 5 hours long.
So
No,
long.
that one's 4. It goes from 3 hours to 4 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. Jump.
It was pretty
No,
good.
it killed him. That jump killed him.
Yeah.
What else
And
you got?
And it was funny because the actor Christopher Lee, when Peter Jackson's telling him the sound he needs to make, he's like, ah, and he was like, that's not the sound a person makes when they get stabbed.
Yes.
And he was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, in World War One, he's like, it's more of a all the air. So that's, and he was like, oh wow.
Oh,
do
wow,
that
okay,
then.
do that.
Yeah, if you know, do it.
Yeah, if you know for a fact, then do that.
I think I've seen that interview.
Yeah.
And it's wild how, like, stone cold he is telling it.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But there's another, so where the Uruk-hai stopped marching in front of Helm's Deep, when that old man, like, just launches that one.
Yeah.
The reason why all the orcs are like, oh, is because they thought they were out of arrow reach. That's why they stopped there. They thought that if they stopped there, and then they were safe until they started going in, and they were like, "Oh shit, they can reach us."
It was a test arrow.
Whoops.
No, it wasn't. It was a slip because that old man was shaking.
That's like me when I'm doing it.
Right?
Old man shaking.
I can't. Oh.
So
Can't do it.
Gimli, I can't remember the actor who plays him, but so he, his fingers legitimately cut off, like right here. Like in real life.
Yeah.
And so in the movie they made a prosthetic for him and everything. Well,
Did his finger get cut off?
No, Peter Jackson didn't know. And so the actor was like, hey, you know what'd be really funny? Like, I'm gonna tell Peter Jackson I cut my finger on the axe. And they're like, okay. So he like he takes the prosthetic and slices it, and they put like a fake blood capsule in there. And he goes over, he's like, hey Peter, he's like, I may need to go home today. I accidentally cut my finger on that axe. And he was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. And he, like, just...
And it's, like, huge gash.
No, he, like, just pulls the nail, like, the whole end of his finger, just, like, does this, and just blood just... And Peter's like, oh!
Good Lord.
Oh, no. A lawsuit.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars, yeah.
No, and it's so funny because, like, they told him to, like, try to miss... they're wearing armor, but try to miss him when you swing your axe. He's like, okay. He tries his hardest to beat the shit out of them when he hits them.
Yes.
That's perfect, though. I mean, you got to be in it. You got to be in it.
Absolute cinema.
Yes.
No reason not to be fully invested.
The fact scenes that I know, Haley, like, hates watching the extended editions with me. And I'm like, why?
Oh, that reminds me of that Leonardo DiCaprio
You're
meme
afraid to get
where he's,
wet.
like, hitting the couch and pointing at the TV. Yeah, that is you guys during that movie for sure.
That is me watching it.
You're afraid to get wet.
You're afraid to get wet. Like when Aragorn kicks the helmet and he drops to his knees and it's like, he broke his toe.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, when he kicked the helmet? Yes,
Did
okay.
you actually not know that?
I knew that one. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. He's in like a
I was
grassy
That's
knoll.
common knowledge
Yeah, that
now,
was one of
man.
my favorites.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Damn. If we go for like 7 or 8 more minutes, this can be a 2-parter.
It's okay. That's all I got.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's perfect timing.
All right.
I thought it was
this will
pretty
be a long episode.
Well, there's you a little loader lore dump.
Wow.
Dump.
I learned so much today. It's kind of insane.
Right?
I don't get to bust out my Silmarillion knowledge too much.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we did this.
You have to really dive into that. How big is that?
The Silmarillion?
Yeah.
It's not. It's maybe that thick.
Okay.
But like
So
there
it's
is
smaller
some.
than The Hobbit.
It's a little bit longer than The Hobbit, but here's the thing. It's not like reading a normal book.
The text is so small.
No, it's packed in almost like you're reading the Bible or a history book. That's the way it reads. It doesn't read like a normal story.
And
the entire, you know how big Lord of the Rings is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the entirety of what happens in Lord of the Rings in this 300 plus page book only takes up maybe 5 pages.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
the entirety.
So there's way more information.
Like I said,
in
it is a
It
comprehensive history.
Deep. That's why I haven't messed with it.
I had to read that book flipping to and from the index because there's so many names and nations.
And you got to go back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
You
Is
I
there
had
a
to read
map?
that book with index cards.
Yeah.
Is there a map?
Yeah.
There's maps.
I'm a map
several
whore, so
maps.
okay.
And then his son has made quite a few maps to
Christopher
expand on it.
Tolkien. Yeah.
Like to
the
keep the
Silmarillion
world
was
growing?
compiled from, I think, by Tolkien from which it was unfinished.
Right. Didn't he finish it for him?
He compiled it.
Yeah.
He didn't finish it. No.
Oh, okay. I thought he...
Still not
There's
finished.
some things he filled in the gaps on, but no, it's not finished.
It's just an unfinished work.
The Lord of the Rings, yeah. Technically, yeah.
It'll never be complete.
Nope.
Never again.
Well,
Not even his son can finish it.
Probably not.
What a shame.
Oh, well.
But,
There you go.
Wow. Thanks
Oh,
for
yeah.
sticking around for 45 minutes. We appreciate it.
Like, subscribe, follow.
Follow,
Still working on
join
that,
us.
Tentatively, I can't see into the future, but
300.
I think we're still working on that 300.
100%.
300 subscribers. So
We're
do
almost
that.
there.
Tell your friends. Tell
Hang
your mom.
out, party, throw it on when you're hanging out doing stuff.
Yep.
We're exciting.
We can be.
Show your friends how
Sometimes.
exciting we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
YouTube post credits.
Some post credits.
Going off of Lord of the Rings, the other day on one of the tattoo pages I follow,
Yeah.
someone had posted on, it's a tips and tricks page, and they're like, this is one I just done. This is her first tattoo, and it's a neck tattoo.
Oh no.
So already a red flag. It's shaky as fuck, and the line work is not very deep. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it's Norse writing,
Yeah.
but it's a Lord of the Rings thing. And so I got on
That's
there.
not how you're supposed to do it.
I got on there and I was like, I'm not going to dive into it being a neck tattoo, being shaky. I want to know why you did it in Norse if it's a Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I want to I want to nerd check you.
Yeah, and they're like, it's because that's what they wanted. I'm like, okay, then Elvish.
Or in one of the other many languages
I would just say
associated with it.
As a dignified, self-appreciating nerd, I can't do this.
You just have to out.
I'm like, why would you do it in Norse? That makes absolutely no sense to me.
How many languages are there in Lord of the Rings? Thousands,
two.
probably.
Really just two.
Three. You've got the language of the dark language.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
language of the Dark Lord. Elvish, and then basic.
English.
English.
Yeah.
So you could have used 3 different languages.
You honestly most popular
Is the
if
Elvish.
is Elvish. If you're gonna do a Lord of the Rings tattoo,
Do Elvish.
you do Elvish.
I know someone with an Elvish tattoo.
Yeah, Elijah.
It's his name.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I
Yeah,
know, it's
I
really
thought it
neat.
was really cool. And I've seen so
It looks
many,
really good, too.
Yeah, it does.
I love the Elvish writing. It looks, and if you want to go even extra, do it in blue.
Ooh.
Yeah, like there's so many things they could have
That's pretty
done,
interesting. I
But
didn't
didn't.
know that.
but didn't. And then on top of that, they fucked up by putting like extra runes. So when you're writing runes, if there's there's 2 L's, you only do 1 L for the rune. You don't double up runes. That's how you do Norse. You don't double up runes because then it gets confusing.
Look at this. He's been to the Runestone Park.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole thing is just I have 2 runes tattooed on me, so I've gone deep into Norse. So yeah, that's something you don't do. So I started trash talking. Then other people started trash talking, like backing me up. I had 30 likes on this thing before he took it down.
Man, that's wild.
Because I was showing Haley, and then like I got another notification for someone else that commented on. Yeah, so I clicked on it. And it's like this is no longer available. I'm like motherfucker.
Those bastards.
Bitch.
Because he's like, this is what they wanted. I'm like, well, you as a tattoo artist are supposed to coach them and to say, that's cool, but this is wrong.
Yeah. My art is going to be on you forever. We should make it
Your
right.
wrong is here, and here's why.
Yeah.
God. It's shaky as fuck, too.
All right.
What a shame. See you later.
See you
My
next week.
daily
Yeah,
bitching.
Monday. Bye.